Stop overpaying for takeout. This crispy Asian beef is crispy, sticky, and packed with flavor. And the best part about it, we're pairing it with the perfect wine. So let's put this crispy beef together. I've got my sirloin already sliced up. So what I did was I just purchased a pound of sirloin and I cut it against the grain into these little strips. I've got my sirloin here. And what I'm gonna do before I trim it into strips is I'm gonna take a little bit of this fat off of it. Against the grain. If you're enjoying the video, hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. And so what I'm gonna do is I've got this bowl here and I've got cornstarch, salt, black pepper, and garlic powder, and I'm gonna get this coated. Garlic powder, black pepper, salt, and cornstarch. Toss it up, make sure the beef is nice and coated. I'm gonna set this aside for about 5 minutes or so. All right, so I've got it nice and coated with that cornstarch and those spices. That cornstarch, when we fry this up, is gonna make this super crispy. Promise you. While the beef rests, let's talk pairing. The spice and the richness of this dish, that's where Zinfandel is gonna shine. And that's where the 2016 Ridge Geyserville comes in. This is a majority Zinfandel. There's a little Alicante Boucher, there's some Carignan, and there's some Petite Syrah as well. But there is 73% Zinfandel in this. We need something that's gonna be able to stand up to the bold, spicy richness of this dish. And I think the Zinfandel will fit the bill for that. Let's get a little bit in this glass. Very light in color, very fruit forward on the nose, really jammy. Like grape jelly. I want to point something out to you before we get into tasting this. This is a general pairing, all right? What I want to point out to you is that Zinfandel is a good way to go with this dish because of the characteristics of Zinfandel. So it doesn't have to necessarily be a Ridge Zinfandel. Find a good Zinfandel. Make sure it's a good Zinfandel too, because life is too short for bad wine. Remember that. All right, so let me get into the tasting of this. Wow. A fruit bomb. That jamminess on the nose is carrying it over to the palate. It's medium bodied, super fruity, super fruit forward. Wow. Actually, it's a little more than medium bodied. A little, about say medium body plus, a little more. But it's super fruity. And then that spicy, that pepper on the finish, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for the bold spiciness of this wine to sort of marry with the bold spiciness of this dish. This is delicious. Fantastic glass of wine. I'm ready to get my beef fried up. I've got some vegetable oil, hot pan. Into the oil with my meat. So this meat is going to cook about 2 minutes per side. You want to get it nice and brown. Meat's brown. I'm ready to pull it and place it in my dish over here with the paper towel. All right, we got the beef fried up nice and crispy. I want to get everything from my sauce mixed together. The sauce is where the magic happens. It's sweet, savory, and umami packed. I'm going to start with my soy sauce, oyster sauce, hoisin sauce, honey, sesame oil, rice wine vinegar, garlic, fresh minced garlic, fresh ginger, crushed red pepper. I'm gonna get that whisked together. In a separate dish, I've got some water and cornstarch here. I'm gonna get that mixed together to make a slurry. All right, so I'm gonna set this aside. I've got my sauce here. Make sure it's nice and whisked. And I'm gonna place my sauce in the pan, and as soon as I start to get a bubble, I'm gonna go ahead and thicken it with my cornstarch slurry. All right, so into my pan with my sauce. All of the grease that we had in this pan, I removed it, left just a little tiny bit, maybe about a tablespoon or so of the oil in there. Got my slurry. Looks good. Into my sauce with the beef. I'm gonna toss my beef in the sauce. Nice and coated. This part never gets old. That sauce, that beef soaks up that glossy sauce, and we're left with sweet, sticky, crispy perfection. All right, let's get this plated up. Got some rice here. Beef goes right on top of the rice. got some sliced red chili peppers. I got some sliced green onions. I'm gonna top that with some sesame seeds. There's my crispy beef, and trust me, it's better than takeout. I'm ready to taste my crispy beef. Looks delicious. Nice and tender. Perfect. A lot of times when I'm doing dishes, when I'm doing Asian dishes, and I'm including salt and soy sauce in the dish, I worry a lot of times about saltiness. That can be an issue sometimes when you're putting together when you're putting together Asian dishes. But this is fantastic. This is perfect. Nice little bite to it. Very good. Oh my goodness. Wow. That is fantastic. But I gotta double check. Let's get back into this beef. Some of that rice. Wow. So tender. Just a tad little bit of heat. Oh my goodness. The fruitiness, the spiciness, the boldness of this Zinfandel. This is a perfect pairing. I'm Chef Glenn B, and as always, eat well.